taking you seriously. If he was serious, you would be on his schedule at his job.
And he already proved that he doesn't want to come to you. Remember, Martin Luther King Jr. III invited him to his father's gravesite.
I know.
And he was like, nah, I can't come see me at your house.
And I just from the beginning, this was always a ridiculous dog and pony show. And it's truly embarrassing. But I have learned, it has confirmed people. It's interesting if you let's really stop for a second. And let's talk about who went up there. And let's talk about what we really thought of those people beforehand.
All right, so we got Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis. He is, besides known for being a football player who's a tremendous linebacker who pretended to be religious and like this spiritual leader of the team when he was really all about himself, let's be honest. Also sat by while a friend of his killed someone and would not cooperate with the police when they blatantly and he burned his clothes. He burned his clothing, didn't get convicted, but everyone knew Ray Lewis was around a murder.
Implicit.
During the Super Bowl weekend in 2000, whatever that was. Then you have Floyd Mayweather.
Right.
Floyd Mayweather, who's convicted of beating women, who is, all he does is, I'm sorry, that's a fact.
No, that's a fact. Okay,
He's
yeah.
convicted of beating women. His number one priority in life, the only thing he props up at all is money. That's the only thing he stands for is money. And when push comes to shove, you want to talk about absolutely being a man and a hero, is going to end his career at 49-0 because he's too scared to take one last fight against someone who's actually good. He'd rather end his career as a 49-0 coward than a 50-0 man or a 49-1 man.
Okay.
Because he doesn't want to fight Triple G.
Okay.
So he's not going to fight Triple G and end his career.
Kanye West.
Kanye West. Well, Kanye is one of the greatest artists of all time. I absolutely love his music. However, he has currently lost his mind. He is absolutely deranged. We all agree he's deranged. And for everything we ever thought about Kanye from a moral standpoint, what he made us feel in college, a dropout, late registration, when push came to shove, he fulfilled his dreams of marrying into reality television and becoming just someone who's a constant advertisement. Who, let's be honest, also has been desperately kissing the ass of the white fashion world for the last 5 years. Please accept me into your fashion world. Please. I have to break down these doors. It's so important. Really, are those doors that important?
Don King.
Don King. Well, Don King has murdered a human being also. Murdered another human being. He also waves around flags pretending to be a patriot when all he stands for is money and ripping people off, stealing money from people, from poor people of color, while they break their back in the boxing ring.
Steve Harvey.
Well, I'm not going to go too deep into the Steve Harvey land. I don't think that's my place to do because he is beloved by certain people. But I always thought Steve Harvey's...
I never liked to say it. I like him as a person. I never liked what he stood for because he always took a dump on hip-hop. He never liked hip-hop. Ever.
I just thought...
Never.
His gimmick was always offensive to me. I think Steve Harvey's gimmick preys on the religious middle America, who a lot of people who don't necessarily, who have a certain belief, and he taps into those beliefs that he knows they have, and he wins more. He was just never my cup of tea. No, it was just that's all.
Martin Luther King Jr. III.
What? I don't know. You tell me about Martin Luther King Jr.
I mean, he's done a lot of work, but he's actually never actually made the level of impact that he wanted to because he always lived in his father's shadow.
But did he ever really do a lot?
He worked for the SCLC. He did a lot of work. He was on a lot of things, but he never actually reached what he wanted. And it's unfair because his father's so great. It's unfair to compare him to his father.
If your last name is King, and not because your dad's Rodney, but because it's Martin Luther getting on the board of different things that's not necessarily telling, right?
But he made efforts. And Jim Brown also went to meet Donald Trump.
That one I can't explain.
And he absolutely has been active in the community.
Well, however, let's also not lie about Jim Brown. Had wonderful moments of advocacy. Has a checkered past as well.
Yes, he does have a checkered.
He has done some things that are not wonderful as well. My point is, we just learned about a lot of people. Now, obviously, this is just people we care about because they're people that we expected more from. I'm not putting them on the level of...
I don't know if I expected more from them. I wasn't...
Yeah, maybe that was the mistake.
I wasn't expecting...